your end, Matt?
Mainly just talking music with him. I mean, that's usually the conversation we had. I would always see him at shows and ask him what he was listening to at that particular point in time, and we, trade what we were basically listening to with each other, share with each other, and then talk about, other bands and stuff like that. That's about it.
Cool.
Mine, I'd say when we're on tour with Sewage Grinder and we got down to Texas and we had like the day off and we hung out with his boy Matt, and he took us all around, took us out to the beach and shit, and then we stopped and we ate at this steak restaurant. And we're right on the beach, and there's fucking all these like huge glass windows out front, and you could see the Gulf of Mexico right there or whatever. So I'm like going to sit down, and I'm looking out, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And Brian was there, so I pretty much gave him the seat I was gonna take so you could look out and see not the ocean, but the freaking the Gulf of Mexico or whatever, and I sat right across from him, and he just kept like staring out the window, and that was like, I remember him telling me, he's like, dude, that was so awesome, just sitting there and being able to like look out, see the beach, see the Gulf of Mexico. I never thought that like we'd be doing this, and I was like, dude, I was gonna steal that seat, but I lived in Florida for all those years, so I figured I'd let you soak it up or whatever. So just, I don't know, that came to my mind, man. He was so stoked on like touring and doing all that stuff and hanging out with his boy Matt and whatever, and then just like him like being like, yeah, and like hyped to be like, yeah, chilling on the beach and whatever. So that's me.
Cool.
My favorite memory of Brian would be, it's not like a single moment or a single night or a single thing. It's just, I miss him. I miss his selflessness and his devotion, and how he would always stand up front for the bands, and just I just miss him.
Hell yeah. I guess mine are in this room actually. I work around here, and he worked like 5 minutes away, and there'd be times where he'd text me like, Jim, I got a riff. Can I stop by real quick? So I'd be like, hell yeah, and we'd, come up here and write 47 tunes in 3 seconds, and it's just him and I, farting dick jokes and writing tunes, and we work on whatever idea either one of us had, and then, all right, man, see you tomorrow. And that was it. Just hanging and creating with the dude,
Yeah, for sure.
We got about 6 songs that we don't play that we'd like to play. So we're working on those 6 so we can play them, and then we're going to start. I know Russ has had a couple riffs here and there. And, I've had a couple ideas like in my head. I want to start a tune.
I turned up a couple, I just never remember them.
Yeah, so there you go. So we're not officially working, but we're not working.
Yeah.
Before you know it, we'll have some, something, a little
works.
something,
Yep.
little something.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
So obviously back in the day, Russ and I are old school grinders or whatever, and Brian was just always at the shows. He did the Chainsaw Abortion with Joe, and I know I've been at Joe's house, and he gave me this gore tape. It was a VHS, and it was just filled with like gory scenes from horror movies, and we did the interview for Chainsaw Abortions, I think, and just knew him from shows. That's you?
Yeah, I mean, he was always photographing and, promoting, and I mean, I remember menstrual meatballs,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Back in the day. Wasn't he? Was that him, or?
I remember it, but I don't know if that was him.
No?
I know he did Chainsaw Abortions.
Yeah.
He did Glorious Times, obviously, and
Yeah.
I remember Menstrual Meatballs,
Something.
but I don't
I
remember.
know he did something
I don't remember.
back in the day.
Man, that was like 100 years ago, man. We're old now. All right, that leaves you, Chris.
I don't think I can top menstrual meatballs, but what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Well, I grew up in the hardcore scene, so there's no menstrual meatballs in there, but back in the, I mean, I'm sure I met Brian, or I saw him back in the day in the late 80s, early 90s Skyroom shit, because their shows were all mixed and whatever, so I don't know, my memory's terrible for back then, but you know, I lived in Florida for like 13 years, so like, I don't know, like fucking 15 years ago now, I don't know. I started, after I moved back, I started going to a lot more metal shows and stuff, because I moved in an apartment right around the corner from Rockin' Buffalo. Brian is doing a bunch of shows there, so I was going there all the time, so I'd see him and whatnot, and then I don't know, after he started Anthropic, he was looking for someone to do the vocals or whatever, and he came up to me at a hardcore show and gave me the a CD of the what ended up being our first demo with no vocals. He asked me if I wanted to try out, so I was like, fuck it, let's go for it. So that's pretty much how I came to know him, like, legitimately, other than just seeing him, you know, at shows and whatnot.
Yeah, and how you got in the band.
And how I got in the band too, so.
Cool.
My most memorable show with Anthropic is probably, it's a toss between both the Brooklyn shows and then also when we got to play with Malignancy at Mohawk, because I fucking love those dudes.
Yeah.
So that show was like a really big one for me, but definitely both of the Brooklyn shows too.
Cool. Chris
Want
is
me to
like,
talk
fuck,
about
I got 8,000 shows. I don't remember
Yeah, really.
them all.
We talk about the fucking the mall, or
Yeah, if
just
you
taking
want.
that one.
No, go for it.
All right, I guess I'll take the
red papaya.
Yeah, the red papaya. So we played at a Thai restaurant in a little strip mall in Guelph, Ontario. that was interesting. Like, we get there and we're trying to figure out where the hell the place is, and you're like, where the fuck is this place? And the promoter's like, oh, you go down this back alley and you do all this shit.
And
So
it
we're
was
like,
looking kind of shady.
yeah, we're cutting through these alleys and we back up to this door, and
Dead end alley.
yeah,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
dead
like
end,
the
yeah.
back, it's like narrow as shit. We could barely fit the van, and then we go in through the back door. We're loading in. We're like walking through the fucking back of. It's in a Thai restaurant.
In the kitchen,
we're
yeah.
walking through the kitchen
was like
it's some
Goodfellas.
like some mafia
Yeah.
movie or some shit. We're cutting in through the back door, and it's all like this nice like restaurant. We're like, what the fuck? So we go in through the back door, load all this shit in or whatever, and then Jim's like, I gotta go park the van around front. So I like walked out the front door of the restaurant, and I'm like, where the fuck am I, man? I'm looking around, and we're like in this inside mall. There's like with the mall directory, the whole deal. I'm like, what the fuck? So I like go out the front of the mall and like walk up like way out to the street, and I'm standing there looking around like, what in the hell? Where am I? I'm like, I better hang out for a while. Jim's never gonna find this place. And then I'm standing out front, and I see Jim walking down the sidewalk, like looking around, like trying to figure out where the fucking place is. Like, dude,
And
you
all
never
the-
figure it out. It's down inside this mall. Yeah, and then
And all the shops were closed. I think they knew we were coming.
yeah, they're all closed. It's weird. I don't know if Canada closes at 5 o'clock or something. I don't know what that was, but there was like random people walking through. Like, I'd go outside to smoke or whatever,
Mallwalkers, man.
and then there's like these like random people walking through, like looking like, what is going on in here? This black chick standing out front. And I was coming back in. She's like standing out front, like trying to like wanting to go inside the restaurant, and then there's like band playing or whatever, and I'm like, hey, I'm like you don't have to be scared. She's like, I just want a boba tea. I'm like, go up
Guy
and get
sound
it.
check. He's like,
She's like, I I just want a boba tea. I'm like, you can get in there. It's all good. I'm like, you can hang out for the show. She's like, I don't think
It was the first time I ate Thai food and watched metal, like
Yeah.
live metal. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
That was
Definitely a first.
That was an interesting experience for sure. Like
Yeah.
not expecting like that at all. So
We
yeah.
played in some fucking weird places since I've been in a
Yeah,
band.
we played in many weird places.
Well, you Russ.
Well, I don't want to steal
It's
yours.
all good, dude. I got
hopefully.
plenty.
I mean, we've played a lot of shows, you guys. Like, so it's hard to pick because there's been a lot of special ones, but
Over 100. Shit.
Almost 150 now.
First one that pops in your head,
There's
man.
so many. I
First one that
want
pops
to
in your
say
head,
like
man.
3 or 4 of them, but I don't know which one, Jim. The Cannibal Corpses. You know, when we played with Cannibal Corpse in Rochester, those guys are
The
always
Cannibal Corpses.
they'll always have a spot in my heart, man. I love you guys, man.
No doubt, no doubt. The Cannibal Corpse. That was from, what was that, Penny Arcade? Somebody introduced them like, hey, Nugget, next up is the Cannibal Corpses. We were fucking crying, dude.
And Hate Eternal.
Yep.
Yeah, that show was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't in the band, but I was in the pit.
I'm going to go with Camp Krusty in West Virginia.
That was a wild
So basically, this was like a 1801 church, and they turned it into a punk house, I guess. And where the pulpit and the congregation and the pews and all this shit was a fucking half pipe. And these motherfuckers were doing their
fucking skating
skating
while we were
fucking-
playing. I was like,
while we were
yes!
playing, and like Brian was afraid of heights, and this motherfucker starts climbing the ladder. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna play from up there. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So Brian's up there fucking playing. and
Yes.
He's way up
On
and
a
they're
6
skating.
foot,
That
six
was
foot high
awesome.
half pipe standing on the deck.
I would never do that.
And it was like an extension
I
on
looked
it
up
too.
some up there. I was like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on like a 4x4 square. I'm like, hell no, dude. I'm like, remember, don't jump, dude. Just slide down the
Stand
ramp.
there.
On his knees.
Slide
Yeah.
down, dude. Slide down. Don't jump.
At one point, I'd go out and they were smoking in there, and I don't smoke, and it was fucking brutal. So I'd go out and get air, and one time Chris is out there, and he's pissing, and I'm like, hey, you know you're pissing on a grave, right? He's like, what? I'm like, I turn the light on. He's like, oh, shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
It
anyone.
was
Time to
fucking,
go.
Yeah.
It was fucking pitch black.
Yeah,
Pitch
and then-
black. No lights anywhere. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you are. You're
And at
pissing
the
on
end of
someone's
the
grave.
night, this inebriated fellow took his young lady's car and decided to back down the driveway and basically ping pong off every
Yeah.
fucking car except our tour van,
Yeah,
which is
'cause
fucking great.
we
We
just
fucking
moved it.
moved that
We
motherfucker.
just moved it. So
Yeah,
we
that-
lucked out on that.
That's probably one of the most memorable.
Yeah, that was a fucking crazy.
Camp
that was
Krusty!
Camp Krusty, that was a crazy. That was
I'll just let you answer this one, Chris. I don't think this is a all band answers.
I think we've improved substantially since the first show. The first show is everyone knocking the rust off, and some of us never playing a show before, so it was a little rough.
Yeah.
But I'd say we've definitely improved in.
We figured there'd be 10, 15 people. Instead, there was 50, 60, and they're all soccer moms.
60. It was
Front row.
packed. It was packed.
Yeah, it was.
I just
yeah.
remember that old lady sitting in front of the sound booth at the table eating her salad, and the sound guy was like, all right, the entertainment for tonight's about to begin. You have been warned. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Someone's
Good
grandma fucking probably had a heart attack. Jesus Christ.
If you ain't got earplugs, grab some bar napkins, because here
Yeah.
it comes.
One more time, Grandma.
Yeah, but thank you, Mike. Thanks for putting us on
Hell
that, getting the ball rolling on our very first show, man. So yeah.
Like we said earlier, we're just finishing up the last few that we want to play, and then we'll start writing, and then I would imagine we'll do like an EP, just a 5-song. Maybe we'll do a split or something, and just to get new music out. And who knows? Maybe we'll do a full length. Maybe it'll start flowing like mad, and
Yeah, you never
who
know.
knows?
It could evolve. Who knows?
It obviously will sound different, but you know. So that's the plan. We'll get there when we get there, I guess.
And in the meantime, we'll continue promoting Bloodline.
There you go.
Yep.
You know,
It's only been out 3 months, 4 months.
we still got songs you guys haven't heard live.
Yep.
So they're brand spanking new shit.
Yep.
Still.
Well, Demons Inside for sure.
That's
I
the
love
one
that
Mike
tune.
just covered.
I know.
There.
I know.
Good job, too.
Yeah, you did good.
Good job.
Man, there's so many. I'm biased to the new stuff because I actually learned it and recorded
Right.
it, but
That's all right. We only have 80 songs. Fuck.
Suffering is probably one of my favorites too
Suffering
from the
is- that's a
original
good one.
stuff.
Yeah.
And Requiem, man, for Jeff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, we haven't played that one forever either.
Love that song. Absolutely love that song. I remember when I learned it, man, I was like, man, Brian is such a riff master. This shit is genius.
Yeah, 80 songs.
And the whole album was like
Cram
that.
all
The
that
whole-
into one show.
The whole new album, every song we learned, I'm like, damn, Brian. You know what I mean? Like, he was a machine, man. He just kept churning out riffs. It was amazing.
Yeah, believe me, I know. Every time I show up to practice, like, we got 2 new tunes. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Cool.
What's your favorite, Chris?
I got multiple on the new one. I'm gonna go Blacked Out just because that was the first song.
Ever.
It's the first song that Brian ever wrote, and then when I came into the band, that was the first song I wrote lyrics to, and like the first song I tried out with, and everything. So yeah, Blacked Out's it's a badass fucking song, and that's always gonna be probably my number one favorite, just because it was the beginning of everything,
Cool.
I would have to say Glorious Times. I can't wait to start, to add that to our live set because I love that song. Chris did a really good job on the lyrics, and it's all about Brian.
It's about Brian and the whole band and the whole everything.
Oh, and don't forget the fact that it's fucking crushing.
It's meaning. It's meaningful and crushing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Mine. Shit. Oh, yeah.
Plenty of time to think
There's
about
like
it.
80
I know.
of them. It's
I
hard
know,
to pick.
that's
You know
fun,
what I
man.
mean? 100 of them. Some shit.
So I always have some that's like, fuck yeah, that song's crushing, and some I love playing because they're just fun to play, and some I hate, but some it's just like, fuck that song, we ain't playing that motherfucker. I always like Sentence to Death. That was always a good one. I like playing De-Evolution. That was fun. I like Purity Test off of Bloodline. I was downstairs and I heard Brian playing just that riff, and I stopped doing what I was doing. I ran up here and was like, record that riff! And like, I ended up recording it on my phone actually because he didn't bring his recorder. So that riff always was like, damn! And I still love that song. So I'm gonna go with Purity Test.
You said that was like, I fucking love this song when he played it at practice today too. So
yeah.
He's not lying.
I'm not lying.
And Carnage in the Street.
Yeah.
Like my, for an older one.
Yeah. Carnage and Path of Destruction, I think, are my two favorites off of Architects.
Yeah.
Well, Requiem too.
Path is good. Yeah.
Those are
Yeah, there's a couple.
There's a couple that I like. July 17th, Last Day of Death. It's actually Brian's birthday. We got that. Stoked for that. The list of bands on that is just
sick.
It's just like, what? So we're absolutely honored to do that. Brian's brother Matt is taking the reins on that and getting that taken care of. Has done a fantastic job. CDN Records is helping out on that as well. And then Buffalo Metal Fest, and we're very stoked to play that.
Absolutely.
Very looking forward to playing
Rapids.
Rapids and
That's me.
Bucket list.
it's
Oh yeah.
It's the third Buffalo Metal Fest and the first time we're playing it, so I'm very excited.
It's a really nice venue. My hometown. My
See?
Niagara Falls peeps.
I heard there's vendors and food trucks there too. Yeah.
I seen
I saw
seen
the
some
list.
good bands there, man. My first show there was Slayer and Mastodon,
Oh shit!
and you know, I was stoked. I'm like, man, this place is awesome. I would love to play on that stage, and here we fucking go.
Careful what you wish for.
It's hard ass work, but it's fucking fun and it's worth it.
Join their first band. Sorry.
Fucking do it, man.
Hell
If
yeah.
you're fucking into it, and just fucking go for it, man. Just find some dudes that want to get down and jam and just fucking do it. It's fun as hell, man.
Hell yeah. If you're stage fright, you'll get over that shit. It'll come. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's like an addiction.
Yeah.
Coming from somebody who hadn't jammed live since 20 years prior, before I came to, joined Anthropic.
Yeah.
I've been itching to get back on.
You're gonna mess up on stage.
It's
Just
inevitable.
learn to
Just keep going.
just keep going.
Yeah. Look back at the drummer and go, what the fuck are you doing?
Whatever. Last
Just
show I may have
keep
played
going.
the middle of the song and
The
the
middle
beginning,
of the
but
beginning
whatever.
and the end at the beginning. I'm like,
It worked out just fine.
Like, isn't this the end of the song? Didn't we just start?
If you click good with the rest of the band members, man, you guys will follow each other's lead. I mean,
Yeah.
You figure
it's
it
just
out.
fun, man. It's fun. It really is.
Fun as hell.
Seriously,
It's work, but it's
though,
fun.
I used to get stopped on the street in Niagara Falls by the parents of kids that would come to the old STEM shows at Paul Mary's and stuff, and at the Legion Hall, and they would thank me and thank the band for giving their kids something to do, somewhere to go, and they would say, my son wants to play guitar, he wants to play bass just like you, he started a band, and that's the greatest feeling, you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is influencing some young kids like the Roman boys, Andrea's two sons.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
How about
Hell yeah.
Trent from D-Brain, man? He loves us, and he's always at the shows, and he's like, man, anytime you guys are playing, I'm gonna come and see you, and he's in a band,
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah, definitely cool.
Last question. Now that we're probably 3 hours into this interview. At the fucking shows.
Come to the fucking shows.
Go to the
absolutely.
shows. I mean, it's cool. Like
Yeah.
I had a dude from Tokyo message me, and he was listening to it, and I don't know if he bought it off of CDN or if he listened on Spotify. That's all cool and great. Obviously, someone in Tokyo is listening to us, but come to the fucking show,
Yeah.
shake our hands, tell us you hate it, tell us you love it, whatever the case. Hand you a fucking CD.
The dude in
and-
Tokyo gets a pass.
Yeah, he's good. But,
Yeah,
so
Yeah, come out.
yeah, come
that'd
to
be
the
an
shows.
expensive trip for an Anthropic show.
Yeah, come hang out.
Totally worth it though.
Yeah.
We are Anthropic. We bring the merch.
If you like, if you
Come
li-
and see me at the merch
Russ is the
table.
merch girl now, so
yeah,
If it's not me, it's Juanthropic.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. If you listen to our stuff and have never seen us live, if you listen to this, stuff online or whatever, it's
different.
come out to the show, get that full face full.
Yeah. Chris falling all
Get
over
in the
the
pit. I won't
So-
run you over, I promise.
The mic
Regardless-
drop. I hear the mic drop. I'm like, oh,
Someone's getting fed old
there he
man
goes.
Knocking motherfuckers over.
Can't help myself, man. Fuck.
All right. So regardless, Wretched Sound. Thank you.
Yes.
Buffalo
Awesome.
Metal
Thank
Fest.
you very much.
Be there.
Yeah.
Day of Death.
Fucking hype.
Be there.